Hi, it's Jane. And the only thing that I have gotten made are a bunch of Barbie doll clothes. So I thought I would show you those clothes. The other clothes have already gone off with our Operation Christmas Child. This was done with I Love This Cotton. This was done with I Love This Cotton. And then I used a little bit of eyelash yarn around the top and the bottom. This one was the Kobu, and it's a little shorter dress. Now this is the one that I knit from a pattern that I got at craftfix.com. Now, she said a worsted weight using size 3 needles, but it's pretty baggy. Pretty large. I had someone suggest maybe making a belt to help hold it, but the shoulders are kind of baggy. This, I think, would fit a Bratz doll or one of those larger dolls, larger body dolls than the Barbie, because it is kind of loose, but I'm sending it anyway. And then the next dress that I did was I tried my own hand at creating a knit dress, just using simply the basic things, where I started off with 20 stitches, and that works for this Barbie doll that I have here as my base pattern. And then when you're ready to start increasing for the hips or for a skirt to be a little bit wider, I just did one row of knit front and back all the way around, and then just continued to knit. On both this top border and the bottom border, I did knit one, purl one all the way around, finished it off, and I used the magic loop method because that's something I find easier to do. I had picked up some of that sparkle yarn and just did a cute little dress. The bottom is just a shell stitch, a couple of rows, I think 3 or 4 rows, maybe 3 rows. Could have done more, but I thought, no, that's good enough. Not worried about getting long dresses. Now I did have to pick up some yarn because I need to make some baby sweaters, and I didn't really have a pink. I have an off-white, white, I have some blues, but I needed some pinks. Those were some of the neutrals that I had picked up. And when I was at Hobby Lobby, I was also looking, I try to pick these up every once in a while, and this is the color I think I'm going to use to blend the granny squares, is this color. And I know it doesn't really go with some of those green squares. Where are they? Well, I don't know where they're at, but it'll go. It'll work with the reds and the little Christmas colored ones. And then I thought, I think I'm going to pick up some of this. This is the Soft Secret. I think that'd make a pretty dress. This is in that, I call it peacock. I don't think that's what they call it. They call it blue teal color. And while I was there, I picked up a couple patterns. McCall's is always on sale when the yarn is on sale for the 99¢. I picked this up as well. So that's basically what I did at Hobby Lobby. Only because I know I'm going to need green to bring these all together for the Christmas afghan when I get ready to do that. And that is basically what I have done as far as crafting, that kind of thing. I have cut some bags. I had some other things I was doing this week that just prevented me from getting to a lot of crochet or knit. So that's it. And let me see. I have a, well, I don't know where it's at. Isn't that bizarre? Thought I had something else I was going to show you, but I don't know what I did with it. So it'll just have to wait till another time. That's basically it. All right, are you ready for a little what in Tarnation? It's a fairly quick, easy video. My voice has been coming in and out, which is kind of a bummer. I had done something this morning. I had a call from someone who was a friend, and she had asked me if I would take her to church. She hadn't been to church in a while. She had some kind of issue this summer that landed her in the hospital on a ventilator, and they weren't real sure if she was going to survive. And she was just now getting out and reaching out to people. And so she had called, and we had talked a little bit. And she had wanted me, I know her from Prayer Shawl. She wanted me to take her to the Prayer Shawl meeting. But unfortunately, I could not take her to Prayer Shawl because I have Christian women that day. So I won't be going to the Prayer Shawl meeting. So, I couldn't take her. But we had talked about church before, and, she'd asked if I could take her to church. Took her to church. Then she asked me to take her by her house, and that turned into a real ordeal. She's been living in a nursing home, and a lot of that is because she needed some more physical therapy to learn to walk and do a lot of things all over again after being in the ICU. And of course, her grandsons were there, her granddaughter, and they greeted us. And the granddaughter had said something, "What are you doing here?" And I'd said to her, "We're just here to pick up a few things that she wanted to take back with her." And then she said, "Well, I can come home for a day." And I thought, what did I get myself into? But I just kind of blew it off because I thought, okay, I know some of the mental processes aren't clearing with her. So as we're sitting there, then in comes her daughter-in-law and her son. And they're like, "Mom, we need to have a talk." And I was like, "Do you need me to leave?" And he's like, "No." And, the first thing they wanted to know was who I was. Told them who I was and where I knew her from. And, I'd just taken her to church. And she wanted to stop by and pick up some things that she wanted to take back with her. And I said to him, "Would you like my telephone number and my name? So that way you have an idea of who I am if there's a problem." And so they took the information down. But then they sat down, had a talk with her about she couldn't come home. And then they explained to me about her psychiatric meds. And I knew about some of her psychiatric issues and how they were trying to balance those out. She wasn't thinking clearly. And so the son was telling me signs to see. And I said, okay. And she had come back because she had wanted to get some money for using the step van. And the step van charges you $4.50 each way. And she has had that set up in her home by some envelopes so that you could just give it to the driver, each way. So it's $4.50 to get there, $4.50 to get back to the nursing home where she was staying. So she wanted to pick those envelopes up. So, that's what we were doing there. And she was also wanting to get some warm pajamas because where she's at, there's, I guess, a coal heater in the hallways, but the rooms are cold. So she wanted some warm clothing for that. And and to get her swimsuit because she wanted to go back to start exercising at the gym for the twinges and the hinges. So, I thought that's all we were there doing. But they thought she'd come home, that she was coming home to stay home. And I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. That's not what I understood this day to be. But they explained her medications and some of the things going on, those kind of things. Not only to me, but to remind her. And so I told him, yeah, I'll take her back. Or, her son's like, do you want me to take her back? Or I said, well, it's on my way home. So I might as well take her back. Unless you want to take her back. I don't have a problem with that. So as we're leaving, he wanted to know if he needed to give me gas money. I'm like, no, I'm fine. It's no big deal. I'm okay. And then I'd said to him, do you want me to walk her in to make sure that she hands over those envelopes to be put in a safe? And he said, no, let's let her do that on her own. I said, that's fine, but she can't carry everything she's taken in. So I will help her take things in, and I will remind her that she needs to take those envelopes down to be put in the safe, because if you're in a nursing home and there's cash there, it disappears. So that is one of the reasons I'm a big advocate for people to give cash over to the safe to be put in the safe, or whatever system they have for buying extras for you with your cash, not carrying cash there in nursing homes. And so we got in, dropped her off, and took in her bags and reminded her to take her envelopes up to the front to put them in the safe so she didn't have to worry about them going missing. And she did remember that she had $210 that was in her purse while she was in the nursing home, and someone took it. So she did remember that, and she remembered a lot of other things. So when we're on the way back, she was apologizing to me, and I said, you don't need to apologize to me. I just want your son to understand that we were just coming to pick things up, and I was taking you back. And that if you wanted to go to church, I'll be more than happy to take you to church with me. I said, when I can go to prayer shawl, I'll be more than happy to pick you up and take you to prayer shawl. So, wanted her to understand that as well. Explain that to her son as well. So, yeah, it was an interesting afternoon. But it was like one of those come to Jesus interventions that you see on TV. And I was like, wait a minute, I didn't sign up for this. But sometimes things happen. All right, are you ready for a little what in Tarnation? If that wasn't what in Tarnation enough. Coyote causes scene on ledge outside Florida hotel. A coyote that appeared to be stranded on a ledge outside a Florida hotel drew a crowd of onlookers, including police, before eventually finding its own way down. The coyote was spotted about 10:30 a.m. Tuesday in the Denison parking garage adjacent to the Luminary Hotel in downtown Fort Myers. Witnesses attempted to chase the coyote away from the scene, but the canine instead fled to a second-story ledge outside the building. Fort Myers police, firefighters, and Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission personnel responded to the scene, but the coyote eventually hopped over a barrier on its own and returned to the interior of the garage. FWC personnel monitored the coyote as he left the area, and he was last seen heading into the woods. When you say your hotel has great views and a coyote takes it literally, the hotel joked on social media, Don't worry, we offered an early check-in and some Bonvoy points to get him off the ledge. There is video. The video is 45 minutes long. This coyote on this ledge. So, I'd speed it up if you want to watch it. World's shortest horse measures just 21.1 inches tall. A therapy horse living in Germany was dubbed the shortest living horse by Guinness World Records, standing at a diminutive 21.1 inches tall. Carola Weidemann said she adopted Pummuckle, the horse, in 2020 when he was only 5 months old and only about 18 inches tall. I drove over, took a look at him, was truly completely shocked. I had never seen such a small little horse before. Pummuckle's height was verified by Guinness World Records as 21.1 inches to the withers, making him the shortest living male horse in the world. He is about 1.5 inches shorter than the previous record holder. He is a trained therapy horse and makes regular visits to nursing homes, hospices, schools, and facilities for people with disabilities. He has a very lovable character. He's incredibly good with children. He loves being scratched and cuddled. Pummuckle loves to be the center of attention. And there's video. This one's only about 3 minutes long. School seeks help finding teddy bear that fell from the stratosphere. A school in England is asking for the public's help to find a missing teddy bear that was sent into the stratosphere with a weather balloon and fell to Earth. The Walhampton School said Bradford Bear was sent into the sky from Lymington, Hampshire, by 7th and 8th grade students working together with the Southampton University Space Flight Society. A camera on board the balloon recorded Bradford's journey into the upper atmosphere and captured the moment the stuffed toy was jostled free from his perch in the stratosphere above Henley on Thames on November the 10th. Bradford Bear had been expected to parachute to safety along with the rest of the balloon's cargo in the Basingstoke area, but he is now believed to have landed somewhere between Early and Folly on the Henley on Thames area. If you have any information regarding his whereabouts, no matter how small, please let us know, the school said on social media. Video footage or any details would be hugely appreciated. Ellie Robinson, a science teacher at Walhampton School, told the BBC that Bradford Bear did amazingly by reaching an altitude of about 16.7 miles above the ground. I am sure he is fine, as we have reassured the children. He is very brave and resourceful. All right, red fox with pipe around its neck, freed in Pennsylvania. And I have got a battery that's about to die, so let me change that first. I don't know if you can hear that fat cat rolling around next to me. It's rolling around on the floor, making all kinds of noises. All right, an animal rescue group in Pennsylvania announced it has located and freed a fox seen wandering with a plastic drainage pipe stuck around its neck since October. It's a long time. Good Boy Dog Recovery said the red fox was first seen with the pipe stuck around its neck in October, and rescuers have been searching for the animal in the Broomall, Delaware County area ever since. The fox, named Sly by rescuers, was finally captured Saturday night. The animal was taken to Pocono Wildlife Rehabilitation and Education Center, which reported the fox, renamed Lady Sly after being found to be a female, was a very cooperative patient and allowed the pipe to be cut away from her neck without the need for sedation. Lady Sly was vaccinated for rabies and distemper and was returned to the wild on the same day as her capture. And there is video. Robot breaks world record with 66-mile walk in China. Chinese tech firm Agibot earned a Guinness World Record when its humanoid robot A2 went for a 61-mile walk from Jiangsu province to Shanghai. The robot set off from Genji Lake and arrived at Shanghai's Bund in a single continuous walk made possible by a system devised to allow the robot to swap batteries while continuing to operate. The 24-hour trek earned Agabok the Guinness World Record title for the longest journey walked by the humanoid robot. Agabot said A2 followed all traffic laws during its long trek and walked across various surfaces, including asphalt, tiled pavement, and bridges. The robot interacted with reporters at the end of its walk, stating that it might now need a new pair of shoes, the Global Times reported. Okay. Any others video? Texas bus driver named the world's oldest at 95. It's a long time to be driving a bus, don't you think? A 95-year-old man, Texas man, who's been driving city buses for 27 years, was named the world's oldest bus driver by Guinness World Records. Wichita Falls man Raymond Hager was 94 years and 176 days old when his age and status as an active bus driver were verified by Guinness World Records on May 13th. "I'm the oldest bus driver in the world," he told KFDX. Hager said he started driving around the age of 14, quickly found he enjoyed driving larger vehicles. He became a bus driver for Falls Ride, the public transit system in Wichita Falls, about 27 years ago. Hager said he originally planned to retire at the age of 95, but he now plans to continue driving for as long as he remains healthy and able. The city of Wichita Falls honored Hager's achievement by declaring November the 18th to be Raymond Hager Day. Goodness, pride, proud. Thankful that I have been blessed. Little country boy to achieve something like that. Not gonna say a thing. But if you're healthy and you can see well enough to drive, no health issues to speak of, that's a good thing. All right. And now it's time for the devotional. Made for friendship. And Jonathan made David vow again because of his love for him, because he loved him as he loved his own life. 1 Samuel 20:17. In a world of constant yet shallow connections, who are your true friends? Do you sometimes feel surrounded by people, but very much alone? In this section of 1 Samuel, the two most famous friends in the Bible were in the middle of a weighty conflict. David discovered King Saul had set a trap to have him killed in the palace. So he went to Saul's son Jonathan. Jonathan loved David to the point that he sided against his own father and king to secure David's safety. He then made David enter into a covenant of friendship not once, but twice. Even in the midst of danger and Saul's betrayal, these two friends embodied a healthy, sacrificial friendship. They are living proof that God designed us to walk side by side with like-minded believers who love and refine us. God speaks about friendship dozens of times in the scriptures because it matters so much to Him. We were never meant to be lone wolves, especially in times of trial. God cares about your relationships. He is your greatest friend. But He also created you for deep and meaningful friendships with other people. He will be faithful to provide the friends that you need. Reflect. Who in my life do I consider a true friend? Pray. Father, you created me to be in a community and to have good, healthy friendships that sharpen me and draw me toward your heart. You are my greatest friend, but earthly friendships are so important too. I ask that you continue to surround me with friends who love you, love me, and point me back to Jesus. Declare, I have been created for healthy friendships. Act. Send an encouraging note to someone whom you consider a true friend. If you do not have someone like this, ask the Lord to bring a true friend into your life. And that is it for today's video. I'll see you again soon. Hopefully my voice will hold out this week. Tuesday we're supposed to be getting a massive snowstorm. I've heard anywhere from 2 to 3 inches, then anywhere from 2 to 8 inches. So who knows what we'll get. But anyway, I'll see you again soon. Everybody, have a blessed day. And remember, try to do something kind for someone today.